Hey everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. I want to do a quick video today, just doing some analysis of Battlefield. Um, I know some of you guys watched my stream. Thanks for watching. Yeah, for those of you that didn't catch it, there you can catch it now on my channel. But otherwise, I will be continuing to stream the semifinals, and then if I make it the finals, if I don't make it to the finals, I'm planning on switching to uh, the uh, the 1 to 400 um, All Stars for finals. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It actually went pretty well for prelims. Um, Team did okay. We got third, but a number of us moved on. We did pretty well. And yeah, uh, this All Stars was the laggiest, glitchiest All Stars I've ever been a part of, and I've been a part of maybe like I don't know, like six, seven All Stars at this point, maybe more. And they always have their issues, right? Like there's always people who can't log in correctly, or people who get locked out, or whatnot. But this one, everyone was having issues across the board. And they weren't issues like, oh, okay, like, you know, I it, it sent the rally too early, or didn't count all of the reinforcements or something like that. They were like critical errors, like you couldn't recall from buildings. Your marches would get stuck. You would get the gathering buff, or gathering, like 10-year gathering issue. You couldn't port. You like at one point I think I had three of the same general showing out on my screen. Which obviously should not be happening. One that was rallying, one that was returning, and one that was marching. And so you also wouldn't get the reports until like maybe a minute afterwards. And so basically the only way that we would know if we one even hit the person, and two, like if we took out off enough power to really kind of move towards the next troop type, or something like that, is by manually clicking on their power and seeing what they had left based on what they were originally. And I was kind of the spotter for, or one of the main spotters for my team, and so I was kind of doing that quite a bit. And it made it really kind of obnoxious. And sometimes I think we sent the wrong rallies at people because we didn't really know what they had left. And at this kind of level, scouting people, unless you're kind of towards the end of the battle, scouting people, it just takes too much time. You have to react quick. You have to set rallies really quickly. My team did great. I think we could have been a lot faster in rallying. There were a lot of times where we were trying to take advantage of a team setting rallies. So basically, a strategy is you let a team set rallies, and then you click on some, or you rally someone who's joining the rally who can't port at that point, and then hit them while they're unable to port. But unfortunately, communication issues and just the lag and stuff like that, we would oftentimes set on the person, and they would be able to port because they would already have their march back, because it would be so much later later on. But yeah, I wanted to, besides the lag and all that, like unfortunately, like Evany events are always this way. They're always glitches. They're always lags. Like I said, this is by far the worst. So hopefully it's significantly better for semifinals. Like, I mean, I guess theoretically they have half the people playing, so they should be better, but who knows with Evany, right? Like, could be it could be that it's even worse, or there's new glitches or whatever. But hopefully it's at least playable, where you're really able to see people's skill for their skill, and instead of just seeing who gets lucky. My my alliance mate basically got glitched out. He wasn't able to port from rallies. He wasn't able to, post his cords for getting reinforcements or anything like that. And so by the time he was able to reset his game, he was zeroed. They had two rallies on him, even though he was in the call and stuff like that. Like people sent him rains after the first one, but I mean, he basically took like a 45 million or 50 million rally with no reins, and kind of at his power level, it took off quite a bit. So yeah, I do want to actually uh, look at some of those battle reports. I don't have all of them, but I do have enough to kind of show what was kind of going on. And I w- before we get into that, uh, I am going to be on the semifinals of the Elite Battlefield Group A. I am on the Lion team. So I'm playing with Crayons again, and then a lot of other really good accounts. But we're also up against some really good competition. Uh, yeah, I think it's kind of funny. I think there's maybe at least one person from 172 on every single team. Maybe there isn't one on the Eagle team, but they kind of got screwed over in my opinion. They're a really good alliance. J Mac and Dugu and all those guys. They actually have a really good alliance. They rally really quick and stuff like that. I've played with a couple of them in All Stars and stuff before, but they basically luck of the draw in terms of uh, who they got for qualifying and stuff like that. They went up against like RSP and Hot and like the really elite uh big coining alliances in the game, and so they just weren't able to get the points that they needed to make it into the top all stars, because normally these people would all be in there. So I'll be there. This is happening basically a week from the last one, so next Saturday. Unfortunately for me, it's at 5 a.m. Evony, this time slot really sucks. Please change it. It was much better with the old way. No one wants to get up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday. But let's get into the reports. That's kind of what you guys all came here for. I did I did get rallied once, and that was actually, I'll kind of explain a little bit about what happened there. But let's kind of load some of these. Um, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but we'll look at some of the ones that we did. That one was not a particularly good rally. I think this guy's buff was just really good. Romaro. Yeah, those are really good siege buffs. Good job there. I think we also maybe that was a decent sized rally. I don't know. I don't know what else happened there. Uh, I don't think we killed, you know, all of his siege, so we definitely had more work to do. So uh, I think that was also at the beginning of the game when people were kind of at full power. Nice 4 billion clear. Mount Rally at 5.2 bill power. You're looking to do a Mount Rally typically. That's what I was looking at. Looks like we hit Romero a couple more times. No rains any of the times it looks like, which is great. And we hit with Archer, took off quite a bit more there. And looks like probably went through his T1s if he had them there. And then I was kind of being dumb, and I thought that I could maybe take out some of the rest, but I don't have a strong enough ground march, so uh, that's okay. Then we had a really nice clear here, actually 6.6 bill, uh, and this was a pretty big rally. This was like 38 mil. Um, Buffs are a little bit weak on the defender side. Uh, do have good debuff there, but uh, the the defense and HP are kind of lacking on some of these, particularly the mounts. And I mean, anything under 800 is, in my opinion, pretty low with some of the new ascensions and stuff like that. Another one we landed. This one was a big one. So this one was 9.8 bill on. Okay, this was also a big rally. So this was a 45 mil rally, and we were able to, again, no rains. No rains is key. I think with rains he might have survived, or at least would have done a little bit better there. But 9.8 bill in a single clear, that's rough. Um, we'll take a look at the buffs, and I'm not shaming any of these people. It looks like he's not employing any T1s, so the T1s would have helped him survive a little bit longer, particularly if he had flat setup on his wall. If you're not clear about what what I'm talking about, I did a video about T1 traps or T1 keeps, and I kind of explain it there. Honestly, his buffs are really good. I think it's just kind of the lack of troops that he had. He only had, I mean, if you look at it, he only had 289 million troops, which is a lot, but for 10 billion power, it means that he's a little bit more skewed towards the top. And yeah, we were able to just clear him out. So I think that was maybe our best clear here. Uh, another standard rally, nice one, 8.3 bill. This was another big rally. Some of these people might have also gotten locked out or something like that. It's really not. I'm not gonna put it all on them. Really nice siege buff there. That's really nice. But some of the other buffs could be a little bit higher. Not bad overall though. I think just needed more power there to be able to weather that. 4.8. Again, you'll notice kind of the theme with a lot of the attacks that go really well, there's just no reinforcements. Reinforcements help a ton on being able to prevent you from being zeroed. So I think this guy had quite a few reinforcements. You see that we still took off quite a few, um, quite a bit. I mean, we went power positive and stuff like that. I I think he actually has really solid buffs. But this was maybe a little bit later in the battle, and it looks like we probably took out all or most of his T1s. And yeah, it's really solid buffs here, really solid debuffs. I mean, really well built account. He was the main rally setter from the team I think that ended up winning, and he was the account that took number one overall. So we basically cleared out archers and mounts, it looks like, and then really we should have just followed back up with a mount rally and would have cleared him pretty easily, I think. We did eventually rally him again, and I think I made the wrong call there because I remembered that from earlier. So we'll we'll look at that report and I'll let you know. I'll call back to the fact that hey, we had killed all of his archers and mounts, so he should be a mount or ground rally. This one didn't go super well, probably mostly because of those rains. But it was a huge rally actually. This should have actually gone much better. Um, yeah, this should have cleared him for sure. But he must have. I think it was just the rains that kept him alive. And he had, I mean, yeah, he had good rains and pretty decent buffs. I think he's on my team for next round. So uh, shout out to Robin. Um, I think that was just a crystal mine. Yeah. Oh, and we did take down the infamous Mamba account. He's a really solid player. He was, I think, one of one of the top 15 on one of the previous All Stars. Um, Definitely was a really solid account right after Keep 40 released. Was one of the first accounts in C1 to I mean, maybe not one of the first accounts, but pretty decent, uh, pretty early on account to get to keep 40 and a big Warhol and stuff like that. He's on 68, so same server as Neff, but different alliance. We've faced them a couple times in Battlefield, and just the bigger Warhol just crushed us at that point. So we siege rallied him, and I think this was probably the right call. Um, Let me check out what he had. Again, no rain, so he's kind of a sitting duck. And then yeah, we took out looks like all of his siege, and then archers down to T11s. So the right play, he actually did have a lot of mounts left. So um, uh, the right play would have been to archer rally him. We didn't. We mount rallied him, which I think took out a lot of those troops, but was not really the right play. I assumed that at his power level he had already been archer rallied, and most of his mounts were already gone. But this was probably a bad call by me, but we still went positive because again, no reinforcements, and he was a little bit lower power. And then we got the clear, and it was a pretty solid clear. I think even here we sent ground here, and he pretty much only had calves uh, and and range. So really probably would have been better for an archer or a mount rally again, but oh well. I took out 4.8 here, solid, but again a smaller power keep. This one was not good. For some reason, he was able to tank this. I think he probably just had flats, and this was not a big enough rally here. But we should have done a little bit better there. Some solid things. Kranz was taking rallies like a champ, going positive. It's not easy to go positive, particularly when you're at low power, but again, we had good solid reigns, and I think this team was a little bit weaker at that point. I took another one. That one went super positive. And yeah, Kranz is a tank. Pretty excited to play with him again. Uh, Teddy in Neff, we kind of crushed him with a siege rally. This was honestly again the wrong call here. I called out siege, and we were kind of flipping between little siege and big siege, just because players didn't have quite as many troops and stuff like that. Otherwise, we might have gone full big siege on players. And at this power level, we were like, okay, he's probably got quite a bit of siege. We'll just go small siege, and we went small siege. It went great. This is a phenomenal small siege rally. But if I had known that his buffs are a little bit low for his power size, um, I would have said big siege for sure. And if we look at what this took out, you can see it went through to the archers. So that means it killed all of his siege, and killed a decent amount of his archers. I think if we had gone big siege, we would have killed all of his archers for sure, and this would have been closer to like a 6 or 7 bill clear 7 bill rally. And then unfortunately someone scooped the cleanup rally on this from us. Probably was only an archer at that point, because we took out all of his siege and archers, and so it would have just been ground and mounts. So they got a lot of points from that, unfortunately, but uh, we we did quite well too. I think it was around this time. Okay, not quite yet, but around this time, Kranz was dead, and our other big setter was also dead, and so I took started taking over rallies. Oh, this is a super small rally. This should have this. I mean, this would have done much better if it was a bigger rally. We probably would have been able to get through some stuff, but overall that did not go well. Uh, Otherwise, if they weren't dead, I would not have had to start setting, and me setting is not a good thing. I I can be fast setting whatever, but I just don't have the Warhol capacity that we really need. Um, and so yeah, we had some really solid defenses. We were really good at reining people, which I think is one of the reasons why we actually took third instead of fourth. And you know, we were actually, if we had had maybe like 10 more minutes, I think we would have had enough to take second. So kind of bummer that those people that would have qualified didn't weren't able to because we didn't have that time. So you see, yeah, this was a rally that I set. Um, Only like 30 million rally, which is just not big enough for what we needed to do. We did take off quite a bit. This would have been an easy follow-up, I think. But at that point, because I was starting to set rallies, I was targeted with a rally, and I was glitching so bad. I had, you know, I couldn't recall marches, I couldn't speed things back or whatnot. So I was actually resetting the game like shortly after this, and so I was able to get some rains, which helped a ton, and basically came out a little bit negative, but not too bad, particularly at my power level at that point, because it was a decent sized rally, like 43 mil, and they were a really solid team. So uh, yeah, we did some other nice things. That was not me leading that. We are kind of switching off. Okay, so here's where we messed up. Uh, I remember I was like, oh, okay, this guy's just archers. Um, this guy's just not archers. We killed all of his archers or most of his archers. He's mostly just ground and cav, or not even cav actually. He's mostly just ground and maybe like a little siege. And so he should be an easy cav rally. So called the cav rally. Uh, what I didn't realize is that he had 26 million reigns. So this did not go well at all. And then if we look at it, this is not what we had before, right? This was, I mean, he didn't have much left, but we would have done okay again. I mean, we would have easily hit him if he hadn't gotten all those rains. So rains do help, certainly. Got a nice clear here. I think we had maybe done a solid rally on him before. So even with rains here and my small Warhol, we were able to come out pretty positive here. I think we might have also gotten the win on him later. And then I set a siege rally, which was fun. Uh, we didn't use Siege nearly enough. Siege was almost always going positive, and I ended the match with, well, one, I ended the match alive, which is super unusual for me. Usually I'm usually I'm dead in All Stars, but for some reason I was able to stay alive. And I just had a bunch of siege left, so I could have done way more siege rallies, and my tech for Siege is actually probably my best tech because I've been working on it for defense. But yeah, it was still a really fun battle. Got to meet a bunch of really cool people, and our team did did pretty well for what we could do, you know, with all the lag and stuff like that. I think again, we were super close to taking second place. We just kind of ran out of time to rally people, and we missed landing a couple big rallies. I would say probably we were a little bit slow at sending and stuff like that. I think if we weren't, we would have absolutely been second or first place because I would say probably like 80% of our rallies missed that they were that people had ported before we were able to send it, which is definitely part of the game. It's the right way to play. You know, the right way to play your defense is to not play defense, to port out of it, unless you have just a bunch of reigns like the Lucas guys did. So Yeah, let's just quickly. I know I shared this briefly, but let's just take a look at kind of the rankings. So yeah, like I said, Lucas was number one overall, and I think yeah, their team was also number one overall. So you see that we were getting pretty close there. We had gained maybe like 30, 40K like in the last like 10 minutes, and we were kind of hitting our stride rallying. We kind of found the Lions team hive again, and we're able to zero them out a lot better than we were before. So yeah, I'm excited for the next battlefield. I think it'll be fun. This has ended up being a lot more fun than I originally thought. Kind of going into the elite battlefield, I was pretty bummed that I didn't make the top 400 one, mostly because I need to unlock the dragons and like I don't have any castle that has buffs, so I would love to get one at some point, but this was just not the time. And it ended up being really fun. There was a lot of people that had not played All Stars before in it, which is super cool. It's great that people get that kind of experience and that exposure because it is just a whole new level of gameplay. If you're not in like one of like the like top alliances, you're not like operating at this level of the speed and like the level of play that's kind of going on typically in your battlefields. And so even if you're capable of it, you only really get to showcase it in All Stars sometimes. And so I'm excited for the rest of it. We'll see if I make finals. If I do, uh, we'll see if I play. I would like to play, but I also might take the streaming of the top 400 one um, and let a friend of mine play the account or something like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the battle stars, or I should call them lag stars, because it was definitely more lag and glitches than anything else. But yeah, it was super fun for me. We got a lot of great reports. When we did hit rallies, we were pretty much always positive, except for one or two cases where we kind of misread the situation a little bit. But that just happens. So thanks for watching. Check me out next week or this Saturday for the stream of the semifinals. And as always, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.